Welcome back to Kansas City Chiefs Today, your go-to place for all things Chiefs. We've got some exciting news to break down for you today, as we take a deep dive into the Chiefs' latest draft picks. This includes their selections from rounds 2 and 3. Let's talk about what this means for the future of the team and whether these picks will help the Chiefs continue their pursuit of another Super Bowl victory. First up, we're looking at the 63rd overall pick in the draft, defensive tackle Omar Norman-Lott from Tennessee. A key player for the Chiefs' defensive line. At 6 feet 1 inch, 303 pounds, he's a force on the field. Despite his stats not jumping off the page, 18 tackles, 4 TFLs, and 4 sacks, Norman-Lott stood out due to his ability to handle double teams, playing alongside James Pierce Jr. at Tennessee. His pressure rate was through the roof, showcasing athleticism and burst. While he may start as a situational player, Norman-Lott's massive hands and pass-rushing ability could be exactly what the Chiefs need to help their defensive line rotation moving forward. Now, we all know Chris Jones is the centerpiece of the Chiefs' defensive line, but as he gets older, having a solid backup plan is crucial. Norman-Lott might just be the player to fill that role. With additional development and coaching, he could be a key player in the 2025 season. With a deep defensive line featuring names like Tillery and Karoftis, Norman-Lott adds significant depth. So what do you think of this pick? Does Norman-Lott have the potential to be the future star the Chiefs need on their defensive line? Let me know in the comments. I'd give this pick a solid B, considering his upside and the depth he could bring. But what are your thoughts? Next up, we've got the 66th overall pick, edge rusher Ashton Galati from Louisville. At 6 feet 2 inches, 264 pounds, Galati had 43 tackles, 10 TFLs, and 4.5 sacks last season. His production dipped compared to the previous year, but he still showed a relentless motor. He's a tough player with a high ceiling, but some concerns about his arm length and run defense will need to be addressed. Galati's future with the Chiefs is a bit more uncertain than Norman-Lott's. While he's a solid player, he's competing for a spot with a deep defensive line. He'll need to prove himself in training camp, especially against players like Charles Omenihu, Felix, and Mike Dana. So, was this a good pick for the Chiefs? While I'm not as high on Galati as I am with Norman-Lott, I think he's got potential. But with the team's current defensive line, it will be tough for him to break through immediately. Do you agree or disagree? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. As we dive deeper into the Chiefs' draft strategy, one thing is clear: the defensive line is getting stronger. Both Norman-Lott and Galati are key parts of this plan, and while they may not be immediate starters, they bring valuable depth to the roster. This is something the Chiefs have needed, especially considering the struggles in pass rushing last season. Let's not forget that one of the biggest issues the Chiefs faced in the previous season was getting consistent pressure on the quarterback. While they made strides with players like Charles Omenihu and Mike Dana, the defensive line still had moments where they couldn't get to the quarterback when it mattered most. This was evident in a few key games, and adding more depth to that position should be a priority. Let's talk a little bit about Brett Veach, the Chiefs' general manager. Over the years, Veach has earned a reputation for making bold, unexpected picks, and so far, he's been proven right more often than not. While we may not always agree with every decision, we trust his ability to build a championship-caliber roster. With the selection of Norman-Lott and Galati, he's sticking to his blueprint of building through the trenches. It's a strategy that helped the Chiefs win their most recent Super Bowl, and it could pay off again down the line. Now, let's take a look at how these picks could impact the Chiefs' overall depth chart. With the additions of Norman-Lott and Galati, the competition on the defensive line just got a lot fiercer. With players like Chris Jones and Frank Clark already established as leaders, these rookies will have to prove they can contribute right away. But the Chiefs' defensive line is one of the most talented in the league, so having these additional pieces could really give them an edge in the long run. Looking ahead, both Norman-Lott and Galati will have to develop their skills further to become consistent contributors for the Chiefs. For Norman-Lott, it's about refining his pass rush technique and improving his run-stopping ability. He's shown flashes of brilliance, but it's about becoming more disciplined and learning to control his raw power. Galati, on the other hand, will need to focus on his arm length and overall strength to make an impact at the NFL level. But don't be fooled, both of these players have high potential. The Chiefs have a great track record of developing defensive talent. With veteran leaders like Chris Jones and Frank Clark in the room, they'll have the mentorship they need to grow. Plus, with the Chiefs coaching staff focusing on maximizing every player's strengths, it's likely that both Norman-Lott and Galati will be ready to contribute in key moments in the future. At the end of the day, the defensive line's primary responsibility is to disrupt the opposing quarterback. With the likes of Norman-Lott, Galati, and the rest of the Chiefs' pass rushers, the team is set up to have a strong pass rush for years to come. We've seen what a great defense can do for the Chiefs. Just look at their performance in the postseason over the last few seasons. With these young additions, they're building towards something even more dominant. So where does this leave the Chiefs moving forward? The draft isn't just about immediate impact, it's about long-term success. And by focusing on the trenches, Brett Veach and his team are laying the foundation for future championship runs. The Chiefs are in a strong position, and with the development of these young players, we could see a defensive line that's even more ferocious than the one that led them to Super Bowl 55. As always, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the Chiefs draft so far? Are you excited about the potential of Omar Norman-Lott and Ashton Galati? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Kansas City Chiefs Today for more in-depth analysis, game breakdowns, and everything you need to stay up to date with your favorite team. On the defensive side, adding depth was a top priority, especially with Chris Jones aging and coming off a demanding workload. Norman-Lott's arrival couldn't come at a better time. His physicality and experience in the SEC will help not only on passing downs but in run defense too. It's clear that Brett Veach is preparing for the future while keeping the defense strong enough to compete with the likes of the AFC West rivals, especially as the Chargers continue to improve. And let's not forget about the Chiefs' pass rush. With players like Frank Clark potentially moving on, Norman-Lott offers them the chance to rotate more effectively, keeping fresh legs on the field and maximizing pressure on opposing quarterbacks. This is something we saw with the Eagles' defensive line in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs are making moves to be just as dangerous. While I'm on the topic of defense, there's one pick I'm still not sure about: Ashton Galati. The edge rusher from Louisville had a strong 2 years ago but had a noticeable dip in production this past season. While the Chiefs needed depth at edge rusher, I feel like they could have gone with a more consistent player here. Hopefully, Galati proves me wrong and rises to the occasion, but this pick feels like one to keep a close eye on. One of the most interesting picks in this draft is Noah Williams, the cornerback from Cal. The Chiefs have been lucky with their cornerbacks in recent years. Trent McDuffie has been a revelation, and Jalen Watson has shown great potential. But with Watson's future uncertain due to injury concerns, Williams gives the team the flexibility it needs. His ability to make plays and generate turnovers gives the Chiefs a much-needed insurance policy in the secondary. Let's talk wide receivers. After Tyreek Hill left, there was a clear hole in the Chiefs' receiving core. While players like Juju Smith-Schuster and Marquez Valdes-Scantling stepped up, the deep threat was missing. Jalen Royals brings that speed and vertical threat back to Kansas City. His ability to stretch the field will open up more opportunities for Mahomes to unleash those big plays we've come to love. Having a deep threat like Royals helps keep defenses honest, opening up space for Travis Kelce and the other receivers. Royals' deep speed combined with Mahomes' arm strength could be a game-changer for the Chiefs' offense this season. I think he's going to be a major factor in making this passing game even more dangerous than it already is. Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker from Oregon, is another pick that adds much-needed depth. With the Chiefs already boasting one of the top linebacker duos in the NFL with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, Bassa provides additional coverage options. He can cover running backs and tight ends in the passing game, which has been a weak spot for the Chiefs' defense in the past. Finally, Rashard Smith, the running back from SMU. While the Chiefs already have a solid running back committee with Pacheco and McKinnon, Smith offers something different. His ability to contribute on special teams as a returner is something the Chiefs clearly valued. With his speed and versatility, Smith can contribute in many ways, which is exactly what the Chiefs need as they look to keep their special teams unit as dangerous as their offense and defense. So, to recap, Brett Veach and the Chiefs nailed this 2025 NFL Draft. They addressed key areas of need with high-value players who have the potential to step in and contribute immediately. The offensive line got stronger, the defense got deeper, and the receiving core looks more dangerous than ever. It's clear the Chiefs are ready to keep their dominance in the AFC for years to come. My overall grade for the 2025 NFL Draft for the Chiefs? It's an easy A. Brett Veach and his team deserve high praise for a job well done, and I can't wait to see how these rookies perform in Kansas City this season. If you agree with my grade or have a different take, let me know in the comments. And don't forget, we're continuing to cover all things Chiefs. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more updates. We've got UDFAs coming up, plus plenty of off-season content. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for joining us on Kansas City Chiefs Today. For daily Chiefs news, rumors, and more, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a show. Until next time, I'm Tyler Shields, and as always, go Chiefs!